Hello, welcome back to another video. It has been a quick minute since I've uploaded a video. I won't go too much into detail because I explained a lot of the reason for that in my last one, but it feels good to be back again. And today I wanted to come on and just share with you guys what I have been diving into and what I've been learning. So I just want to preface this video that is all about boundaries. That I am not teaching on boundaries right now. I just actually wanted to come and share with you what I'm learning, because I will get into this more, but I am no expert on this topic. It's something that's really new to me, and I think it might be new for kind of a lot of people. And so I wanted to share the resources, kind of what I'm doing to learn about this topic and why I feel like it is so important. It is absolutely life-changing, and I hope that if you haven't already dived into this topic before on your own, then it'll be really eye-opening for you as well, and just really makes life all around so much better. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. Okay, so previously, probably honestly before this last month and a half, when I heard the word boundaries, I had no knowledge on that whatsoever, and the little thought that maybe I would have had if I had heard somebody talking about boundaries would have been the stereotypical, really rigid, harsh, mean kind of stay away. That's what I was thinking when I was thinking boundaries. However, that could not be more further from the truth. That would actually be called rigid boundaries, is what I'm learning. And so I have not really heard this topic taught in church and life, really anywhere. And so I wanted to do some research on my own, because I'll tell you what kind of kickstarted it when I was like, oh, I think I need boundaries. This is a really, really quick but very mundane, simple example. Was, if you're a mama, you'll probably connect with this. I realized it when we would have dinner around the table and I was getting up nonstop, and because people need a napkin, they need more drink, they need more food, they forgot their fork, it fell on the floor, all the things, right? You guys with littles, you know what I'm talking about. And I realized I am not even eating my food. I am just getting up and up and up. And there's some things that you really can't help, especially when you've got toddlers or babies. But I realized, okay, something's got to change because people are getting seconds and my food is cold and I have not eaten yet. So I realized that was kind of maybe I should start thinking about this a little bit more. And so during kind of the break that I was taking, I was looking also for something similar to what I do here on YouTube. I was looking for just quick devotionals that I could fit into my day that were really life-giving. And so this brought me to Havla Cunnington's I Do Boundaries study here on YouTube. I'm going to link everything below. If you're getting this video in Happy Mail, you'll already have it in your Happy Mail newsletter. But I will have everything down in the description box that I'm mentioning so that you guys can go look at the resources that I'm also talking about. So I stumbled upon this I Do Boundaries, Havla Cunnington. I love Havla Cunnington, and she actually comes out with a new study at the beginning of each year. But this beginning of this year was very, very hectic for me. And so even though I saw her posting it, I I didn't have space for it. So I was looking, and it's actually on YouTube. So it's a 15-day studies, and it goes through her book, which you don't have to have the book. I personally don't have the book. And they're just real quick 10, maybe 15-minute devotional type videos, but I wouldn't say actually even devotional. I would say they're more teaching, all about boundaries. It was so life-changing. I kid you not. I have sent these videos to many, many, many of my friends because I am just this is life-changing. You need this in your life. I know I need this in my life. So it has been truly life-changing. And like I said, I am still learning because wow, do I have a long ways to go in this area. And so I started watching those videos. Those were very beneficial, very practical, and very eye-opening and just really good teaching. And I love Havla Cunnington, so they were really fun to watch. So then that brought me to, okay, well, I love reading. I'm such a bookworm, and this is a topic that I really wanted to know more about. So I went on Amazon and was looking for boundaries books, and there's one, I'll put a picture of it right here. This is probably, at least that I know of, one of the most well-known, universal boundaries books that there is. And so this is the one that I was originally debating getting, and I still am gonna get it, But then I saw one and I took the cover off of it. I'll put another picture of this one right here so you guys can see, because it had a really cute cover and I don't know what I did with it, but I took it off so I could read it a little bit easier. But this one is called Set Boundaries, Find Peace, and it's by Nedra Glover Tawwab. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So then I saw this on Amazon. Okay, I'm just taking you along for my little mind train here, okay? So I saw this on Amazon, saw the reviews, they all looked amazing, so I decided to look this gal up on Instagram because it said she had an Instagram following. And wow, you guys, if you don't already follow her, you need to follow her right now. So I will put a picture of her Instagram right here, but like this is the one that she posted today. So to give you a little bit of background, she's a therapist. She talks all about boundaries. She's a boundaries expert. And so she has many, many graphics that are just amazing. And so this one she posted today, it says, repeat after me. And this is something that people with very, what she would call porous boundaries, or like hardly any boundaries like myself, this is something that we need to hear. So it says, I cannot abandon my peace of mind for the comfort of others. When I feel unsafe, I disengage. When I feel overwhelmed, I can say no to requests to do more. Ooh, that's good. When drained, I can rest or take space. I do not have to do more than I can handle. Deep breath there. So that was just great. I loved it. And so I just wanted to actually read you guys, if you're like me and you're thinking, what even are boundaries? That's actually the first chapter in her book. It says, what the heck are boundaries? Which I think are so funny because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And this was one of those cases for me. So it says her definition of boundaries is, boundaries are expectations and needs that help you feel safe and comfortable in your relationships. Expectations in relationships help you stay mentally and emotionally well. Learning when to say no and when to say yes is also an essential part of feeling comfortable when you're interacting with others. And then it kind of goes on to say, and I won't read all the paragraphs, but I'll just read you the real quick kind of bullet points. It says, signs that you need healthier boundaries. Neglecting self-care. Yep, that was me. Overwhelmed, resentment. And then there's like signs that you might need to look into boundaries would be, you feel overwhelmed, you feel resentful toward people for asking for your help, you avoid phone calls and interactions with people who might ask for something, you make comments about helping people and getting nothing in return, you feel burned out, you frequently daydream about dropping everything and disappearing, you have no time for yourself. So a lot of those really were hitting home for me, and I definitely like couldn't agree more. And then, so then there's like a little quiz in the back of the book on her book, and it's like a 16 question quiz, and basically there's 3 answers for each question. And really, boundaries, I didn't realize this, affect like your entire life, like every part of your life, relationships, even social media, how you interact with family, how you interact with friends, what your workload looks like, what your family load looks like, what, marriage looks like. It's just like this big overarching thing. And so I'm just like, oh, we got to get the word out about this, because this is really critical stuff. And I feel like when you start to have healthy boundaries, your life doesn't feel like it's spinning out of control or you're in constant overwhelm. At least that's what I'm finding. Like I said, I'm not teaching on this because I am no expert. Needless to say, I'm about halfway through this book. I love it. And I do want to get the other boundaries book that I mentioned previously, because this one is like not faith-based, at least from what I can tell. I mean, I'm halfway through and there's been nothing about faith or anything like that. It's like strictly from a therapist standpoint, which I love. And then the other one, the really well-known boundaries book, I guess is more faith-based. And so a friend was telling me, who's like really into boundaries, she was telling me that book is great because it'll go over, even like in the church or as Christians, kind of things that we can say that take advantage of people that don't maybe have really healthy, defined boundaries. And that's where we can start saying yes to every single thing. And so it's just really been eye-opening to be able to say, oh, okay, I actually don't have defined boundaries in this area. So when something is happening that feels like it's crossing a boundary, or feels like it's rubbing me the wrong way, I don't necessarily have language for it because I haven't thought that through, or I haven't defined it and all that good stuff. So those are the resources that I am currently digging into, and it can be, what would be the word? It can feel like a lot if you are like me. Like for instance, the 16 question quiz, I think 14 out of 16 of my answers were porous boundaries, which means like a real lack of boundaries. And so there's porous, healthy, and rigid. And rigid is like that one that I kind of mentioned in the beginning of the video. Is what I thought of boundaries was like push away, like it's too much boundary. You're not letting people in. And so I fell more on the porous side. That was really good for me to know. And so I was just saying it can feel like kind of a lot if you are like me and you're like, I don't have any boundaries. I don't even know what that is. It can feel like a lot to get started. And so I'd really recommend like Havla's videos on it because she really breaks things down very, very simply and really gives you space and time to kind of look over the areas of your life where maybe you do feel resentment or overwhelm, or like things are spinning out of control, or you're having a hard time, you know, having the confidence to say no to something when you really don't want to, but now you can't say no and you're feeling obligated, all those types of things. So it's been really an incredible journey, and I'm so happy and thankful that this whole idea and topic of boundaries kind of popped into my life like right when I needed it, it felt like. So I just kind of wanted to pass that on to you guys, and let me know down in the comments, do you guys know what boundaries are? Do you feel like you have healthy boundaries, or do you feel like this is something that kind of resonates with you? I feel like oftentimes, especially if you're a mom, it can tend to go on the more give, which we need to. That's part of the job of being a mom. But it's just been really great to, one, have that respect for myself and realize, oh, okay, this actually helps protect relationships so that I'm not getting worn down or burned out or keeping something alive that is just not healthy. And then the last thing that I'll say is that going back to if you're a mom or a grandma or wherever you find yourself in life, this is something that I'm realizing is not only life-changing for me, but is also really crucial, and I feel critical to be able to learn this for myself so that I can pass it down to my daughters, because what you don't know, and how would I pass that down, right? And so I realized even like with my oldest, so I have a 6-year-old and almost 3-year-old, and my almost 3-year-old's getting into that little feisty, she's still sweet as ever, but getting into that little feisty kind of toddler phase. And I realized even with my older one, whenever my younger would cry like for a toy or anything like that, I'd be like, oh, can you just give it to her so she stops crying? And I realized, like, I remember just seeing this look on her face like, okay, you know, like again, like, okay, here, I just have to give you my stuff because you're making a scene, right? And I realized, wait a second, I'm not teaching you healthy boundaries. I'm actually just teaching you, just give them what they want, even if, you know, you weren't okay with it, or if that causes you to have to sacrifice, or just kind of that whole idea of like, well, let me just make sure that you're comfortable, even if I have to take the hit for it. And so I realized, okay, wait, this actually really helps me in my parenting, because now I say, okay, you know, Lily's gonna keep that toy. If she wants to keep it, she can keep it. She's still playing with it. When she's done playing with it, she can choose to give that to you. And it's been really life-giving, and I feel like it has empowered her as well to be able to say, oh, I actually don't have to give everything up, or I don't always have to bend to make other people around me comfortable and, you know, happy, quote unquote. And so it's just like, me learning it has been really amazing, because I feel like as I'm slowly learning it, I'm slowly being able to pass that on. And I just really think that's a big gift that we can give to our kids, is to teach them healthy boundaries so that they're not all suffering with, you know, self-care and totally neglecting their own needs to be able to bend towards other people. And so it's been awesome. I'll probably come back when I feel like I have learned healthy boundaries and maybe talk more on it, but I just wanted to share today in case any of those things that I mentioned kind of resonates with you and you feel like you've been struggling in that area too. These are awesome resources that I've been recommending to seriously almost everybody in my life. So hope you guys found that to be helpful today. I'm so excited to be back and to be talking with you guys and sharing with you guys. You guys know this is like my favorite space of all time. So just really thankful, and make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up and tell me if you like this kind of topic, and I'll be back very soon with more videos. All right, bye you guys.